Well, the trailer is gone, but the adventure is not over. And in this episode, I want to explain to you a little bit about what I mean by that and what happened that caused us to make the decision to pull the ripcord and bail on our attempt to live on the road. To begin with, I think it's important to point out that our goal was never to live on the road for the sake of living in an RV or a tiny home or a trailer. The goal from the beginning was to have better access to adventure. I live with type 1 diabetes, and my mission in this channel is changing the story of diabetes through adventure. Everything really boiled down to time and money. Number one, everything takes more time when you're living on the road. I had to go outside to use other places to edit. I had to shoot differently, and getting power, getting internet to upload was always a stumbling block that I was tripping over. Having everything be so involved really took a lot of time away from daily activities. So there was always this disparity of, do I spend my time creating media that allows me to really share this experience, or do I just go out and do things and have fun? When you're in a trailer that is the size of this closet or a small bathroom, you can't really do that. Sleep, food, these are all things that come before editing a video, and so there's not really a way to do everything all at the same time. You have to prioritize. So a lot of time goes into any one thing that you're going to do, and when you have a 2-year-old, and you have to focus on doing work that makes you money, which this does not, then there are a lot of competing priorities, and multitasking gets exponentially more challenging, at least in our experience. Working remotely can be awesome. It can be very, very liberating, and being able to look out your window and have a national park outside the door, have world-class rock climbing within walking distance from where you are, that's amazing. But a big part of working remotely is being reliable. If you're not able to deliver good work on time and be there when the companies and the clients that you're working with need you, then it makes it a lot harder for you to do work for them. And it makes it harder for you to build better relationships and have a reliable, steady source of income. Now, when we got on the road, I was just starting to work for myself as a freelancer and trying to start relationships off on a foot where I was having to guess where I was going to be, if I was going to have Wi-Fi, if I was going to have electricity. That made it really hard for me to earn money. And guess what? When you don't have enough money to stay in campgrounds that have power and Wi-Fi, you don't have the basic tools that you need to do the work that enables you to make more money. So it quickly turned into a vicious cycle. When we first started out, we didn't have a car payment because my vehicle was paid off. Once the car got totaled, we had a new vehicle payment, higher insurance rates, and now that put an additional monthly strain on what we were dealing with. The other thing that happened was the client that I had been working with that was my main source of income, they decided that they didn't want to continue doing the program that we had been partnering on together. And so a big chunk of the income that I had been relying on went out the window. And this is something that you have to plan for if you're going to be doing freelance work. You have to know that there are some times when a company you work for is not going to be able to continue the relationship in the same way, and that you have to be light on your feet. You have to be able to go out and say, I'm going to go get new clients. Maybe I have to get 2 or 3 new clients that are a little bit smaller in order to make up for that one big one. And so you're not able to put all your eggs in one basket. You have multiple relationships to manage, multiple deliverables that you have to deliver. We were in City of Rocks, Idaho, and I just woke up one morning and I realized I would like to have a home. I want to have a place to hang my photographs. I want to be able to do good work that matters. And I realized that my focus on changing the story of diabetes through the work that I'm doing kind of drifted a little bit. Kind of like this camera. It made me start to think, okay, well, if I'm not able to really be focused on the mission that brought us here in the first place, what do we have to show for this? And I looked in the bank account, it was almost empty, and there was no sign of a sustainable means to create the income that we needed to kind of save the day. And all the tools that we needed to make money were harder to access and more expensive. Nice campgrounds, they cost $35-40 a night. That adds up. That's more than we were paying in rent. And it kind of defeats the purpose when you're paying for those basic things to be able to do work, but then you go to do the work and you can't because, well, we have to cook dinner and you can't do work in here when we're cooking dinner. Or it's time to go to sleep and you can't tell a 2-year-old that they need to just hang on a little bit. When they need to sleep, they need to sleep. In the summer, after about 8 months, we made a decision and said, you know what, like, money is running out. We've given this the best shot that we can. The only way that we're going to be able to make more money and that we're going to be able to survive and not go further and further and further into debt by doing this is if we head back east, sell the trailer, and start over again. So I like to think that this is another chapter in the adventure. The bottom line is that it's important to try things. You don't know if it's going to work or not, but if you don't try, you're never going to find out. This is a big part of adventure. It's having to start over, it's failing, it's not getting to the summit, it's missing the shot, it's getting rained out, it's having to boot and rally and go back and try it again. And so I'm using this time as an opportunity to refocus on the mission, which is what we were trying to do from the very beginning of changing the story of diabetes through adventure. I know that a lot of folks that watch these videos, they found me because they're searching for scamp trailers. And even though I'm not living in a trailer at the moment, and it may be some time before I get back on my feet and I'm able to afford that kind of lifestyle again, I think there's still a lot of valuable lessons that I'm going to be sharing for you guys who are interested in this specific lifestyle. And I'm really excited to turn my attention and focus back to changing the story of diabetes through adventure, pushing back on challenges and limitations by getting out there in the vertical world and training what currently exists into what we want it to be. And I hope that's a journey that you'll join me for on the Adventure RX.